RCMP in Nova Scotia are looking for more video footage of two young children who vanished nearly 4 weeks ago and are now confirming the siblings were seen in public with family members the day before being reported missing. Lilly and Jack Sullivan, aged 6 and 4, were reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia on May 2nd. In a Wednesday update, RCMP said they confirmed the two were observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st based on details they've gathered. They later clarified that confirmation was made by both video evidence and eyewitness accounts. This is excellent because we now have a timetable. We've narrowed it down to 24, 26, 28 hours, right? Depending on what time they were seen on that day prior to them going missing. Because before we had a couple of days because they didn't go to school. Now we know that these two beautiful angels were alive and well at least a day prior to being reported missing. This is good. It's excellent for the investigation. So let's keep going. Police said investigators have collected hours of video from the area surrounding Lansdowne Station. We're now asking anyone who has dash cam footage or video along Gerlach Road between 12 p.m. and April 28th and 12 p.m. on May 2nd to contact us. RCMP said investigators have received and are following up on more than 355 tips. They've also interviewed in excess of 50 people and have more interviews planned in the upcoming days. Now, 50 people is a lot for a community that has just a couple hundred people. So they're definitely pounding the pavement, putting the boots on the ground, and they're canvassing. They're trying to find witnesses. Let's keep going. Police said they've committed to exploring all possibilities when it comes to this case. Which means, in American speak, they're not American, but if that was said in America, that means that the parents are suspects. Now listen, being a suspect does not mean that you did anything wrong. It's just that you're the last two people to see these two people who were 6 and 4, unable to care for themselves. Yes, questions should be asked about you. Questions that will exonerate you or questions that may lead us to justice. Let's keep going. RCMP officers from various teams are fully engaged in finding out what happened to Lilly and Jack, and we're using all tools and resources to determine the circumstances of their disappearance. We understand people's desire for answers and updates. However, as this is an active investigation, we're unable to discuss details of our ongoing work. Okay. Lilly and Jack face unbelievable conditions. Search review. This is why I'm perplexed that the Canadians don't want to release any information. I'm not saying Canadians like it's all Canadians. Come on. Canadian citizens are here with us in this chat. They want to find out what happened to Lilly and Jack just like the rest of us, okay? It's not Canadians. We're talking about RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, okay? They don't want to give us information. They don't want to tell us what's going on. They don't want us to talk about what's going on. If you're in Canada, they can't tell Americans what to do. But yet they give us information that gives them less space to operate as far as public perception. They box themselves in a corner by saying, this is not an abduction. So now check this out. This is not an abduction. That's what Canadian officials have told us. But read what this says. Missing children, Lilly and Jack Sullivan, and the people searching for them are facing unbelievable conditions, according to the Nova Scotia Ground Search and Rescue Association. Lilly, 6, and Jack, 4, went missing from their Nova Scotia home on May 2nd and are believed to have wandered into the heavily wooded area surrounding their home. Let's keep going. Sherry Vernot, president of the Nova Scotia GSRA, told Newsweek that this area is almost impassable, not impossible, but impassable, due to fallen trees from Hurricane Fiona in 2022. Royal Canadian Mounted Police told Newsweek they are assessing and reviewing their search from the weekend of May 17th and 18th in order to plan future steps. Did you guys understand what that person just said? This is the person whose their specialty is searching for people in rough terrain. And they've just told us that this terrain has unbelievable conditions and is almost impassable for the adults that are searching for these kids. So basically what you're telling us is that it's highly unlikely that Lilly and Jack could get far in this terrain. So the Royal Canadian Mounted Police told us it's not an abduction. The president of the GSRA, which is the Ground Search and Rescue Team, is telling us the terrain is almost impassable around that house. So where's the kids? If nobody took them, and if they can't get but a couple of feet into the brush without getting stuck, where's the kids? But we can't look at the parents, says the Canadian officials. We can't ask questions. We should not be accusing people of anything. That's not cool. I'm not saying that, but we can't talk about what do the parents know that we don't know. Even though the officials who have all the information, who are the gatekeepers of information, who are constantly telling us, we're not telling you anything, we're not giving you anything, be quiet, stay in your lane, let the pros do their job. They're telling us though, but by the way, nobody abducted these children. And also, it's almost impossible for these kids to get deep in these woods. So where's the kids?